Let's get some final thoughts with our panel tonight. I want to start with Barnaby Joyce. We'll go right around, but yeah, just a few final thoughts, if we can, on what is an historic evening.
Well, first of all, laurels to Central Queensland that have really held in there, and there was a big battle to Alison Penfold in line. Well done. We're looking to see how Andrew Clennell goes down there. It'd be good. A big shout out to Kimberly Hone, fought such a hard fight, and I'm going to have to hit the Labor Party up for some of the money I raised for her, because it looks like it's getting Labor across the line again. And back to the Battle of Marathon, I seen about 50k your way. So it's to the Battle of Marathon, it looks like Pat Conahan's, when the postals come in, will survive. And that's against in excess of $1 million campaign that was thrown at him. So well done, Patrick Conahan. The thing to watch, of course, will be the Senate and see how that works out. That's still to come. That will be a fascinating thing. And don't get carried away, guys, with doom. This idea that, oh, we're at 56, we've killed the pig. No, these things go in swings and roundabouts. Just hang about.
Hang about. That's the advice from Barnaby Joyce. Sarah Henderson, your thoughts?
Well, Kieran, congratulations again to the Prime Minister and the Labor Party. It's an emphatic victory. We have a lot of soul-searching to do. In Victoria, we've lost some wonderful members of Parliament, Michael Sukkar, Keith Wallahan, to name but a few. We've also had some great gains. Mary Aldridge, a wonderful new Member of Parliament, we hope in Monash. But as I've said before tonight, we will rebuild. Our supporters have been magnificent. Our members have been magnificent, but we've got a lot of work to do. We will not tear ourselves apart. We will do this in a mature, systematic, methodical way to work out what went wrong, to make sure that we are competitive going forward.
Chris?
It's an historic night, and Anthony Albanese now enters the pantheon of Labor legends. He's had one of the most convincing wins in Labor's history, coming from a very, very difficult position, and the coalition has suffered an epic defeat, almost an extermination event in some ways, where it's gone backwards in every single state across Australia, when normally a government loses in a first term, at least loses some skin. So Anthony Albanese has improved the Labor Party's primary vote, and it's absolutely, sitting on about 86 seats here at the moment. One of the readouts I can see, the coalition will be lucky to crack 40 seats. I think the worst result they have ever had in terms of seats was 50 seats back in when Bob Hawke won, and that was in a parliament of 125. This is now a parliament of 150. So the distance back from here for the coalition is large. That is not to say it can't be done, but I think we're seeing a structural realignment in Australian politics, and that may be a very difficult thing for the coalition to overcome.
Peter Credlin.
Well, I think I have to say to the Prime Minister, congratulations, to the Labor Party, congratulations. My husband once was the Liberal Party federal director, so I say to Paul Erickson and his family, that is a tremendous effort in a campaigning sense. There'll be soul searching. I wonder whether or not our loss in 2022 was papered over because everyone put it down to Morrison. It was just the Morrison factor, I'm not confident. Now, this is rock bottom now, but I'm not confident they understood that they could fall even further if they did not do the work. And I think very clearly in policy terms, the work wasn't done. It wasn't socialised early enough. Everybody, both sides, lost a whole year because of the voice. The way in which you communicate, the multiple channels to market these days means that things have to be out there for months and months and months. It's not a case of an ad at 6 o'clock in the middle of a 33-day campaign. So I think the platform for the Liberal Party will be challenged by all the reverberations now that happen in the party room, the leadership changes that will come, the debates, nuclear on, nuclear off, all of these things will come. It'll be a pretty turbulent time for the Liberal Party. Labor will be supremely united. I hope we do not tear ourselves apart, and I hope we can rebuild relatively quickly, because the best thing for Australia is that you have a strong opposition.
Absolutely. It's strong for democracy and important. Andrew?
I saw John Howard underestimated for a lot of years by the Canberra Press Gallery. Anthony Albanese's been underestimated for a long time, and tonight sort of puts paid to that. Having said that, Peter Dutton will be remembered for one of the worst campaigns and worst approaches to policy by an opposition ever, and that's kind of sad for him. I've got to say the government's over the hill now to some extent. Unemployment's 4.1. Inflation's now 2.4. They will always hope to hit low inflation at that election time, but they need to guard against hubris. And this is what happens when you have big victories. And so I think we've got some interesting days ahead because they've got a lot of challenges ahead with the energy system, as you all have pointed out, and with Donald Trump as well.